Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
What's been sort of the journey of this show? I mean, the evolution of this thing.
I originally wrote the pilot script on spec many, many years ago. Like I said on the panel, I've always loved Jaws. And at the time, Pirates of the Caribbean and Stranger Tides had just come out and gave us a new view of mermaids. So I sort of married those ideas, wrote it on spec, and sold that script. And once they decided to pick it up to a pilot, they brought Emily on because I come from the feature world and have no idea how to run a TV show. So they brought someone who actually knew what they were doing. And we shot the pilot in 2016 up in Vancouver. And then we take it from there.
Yeah, and then they picked it up shortly thereafter. We just immediately had a sort of sense of bringing those two worlds together of what Eric had brought to the pilot script and then the idea of building a world around it. And I had a lot of experience in television, so we just sort of started putting the whole thing together in terms of mythology and story. Eric had so many ideas from the beginning. He has done a great deal of the work to help us get there.
What's been the biggest challenge in running the show, producing the show?
Just saying, I was not familiar with visual effects and trying to create a world that wasn't real world. So for me, that's been an enormous, very gratifying learning curve. We had originally shot the girls in these prosthetic tail which didn't really work. We really moved into visual effects and doing the whole thing with visual effects later. So I've learned a great deal about that world, which feels like a good skill to have nowadays. And Eric is just comes naturally to you. You've always been visually familiar with that.
Yeah, it's definitely been a learning curve as well. But I think kind of along those lines, just the scope of the show. It feels like a big show. I remember we were shooting the pilot. We were out on a fishing trawler with like a storm, and our line producer looked at me and she kind of smiled and said, "I feel like we're shooting a feature here," Because it really does have that big scope to it. So it's an ambitious show, and we're on location a fair amount, and the actors are diving in the ocean at various times. There's definite scope to it.
How would you describe the dramatic thrust of this first season? I mean, not in terms of spoilers, but what's the journey of this first year?
Each character has their own journey, obviously. The journey of the town, I think, is in the discovery and acceptance, I guess. It is the kind of arc of the first season. The discovery and the acceptance. Is this a real thing? And what does it mean to all of us? And each character obviously has their own journey about what it means to them. Xander, for example, is living off the ocean. Isn't as interested in environmental issues as Ben is. That's a completely different arc for him. And also discovering that what he thought was important, just protecting, there was also danger involved. Everyone's perceptions are shaken up in that way.
Yeah, it's a collision of species. A border is breached in the pilot, and this strange new creature comes onto land. And the big themes we're looking at are xenophobia, fear of the other, what that means, how different people react to it. And what Emily touched on too is the environmental theme is a really big one. It's really the why now of our show. These mermaids have been forced closer to the surface because of environmental change in the ocean, and that's what causes this initial foray onto land. And then, it's really watching the characters develop and the relationships form from there.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, in terms of the backstory, how soon will you reveal the character's backstory so that we learn a little bit more about them and get drawn into them?
It definitely starts to come out in season 1, and it's not just the character's backstory, it's the backstory of this town as well, which had a dark history with these mermaids. Now they kind of put this lighter spin on it with their mermaid festivals and become like kind of a touristy thing. But the roots of those sort of folk tales in the town have a much darker past, which affects our lead character Ben and his family and really all of the characters. So that's definitely something that we start to tease out in season 1.
Interesting. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Why do you guys choose to go with a darker tone rather than the lighthearted, like Disney-esque mermaid side, kind of? Why the darkness?
I don't know what made you do it, but I felt like, that's been done a lot, and it's cool to do things in a more grounded. For me, it wouldn't even be, I think Eric chose the darkness, which was the right thing to do. For me, it's always about, what does all of this really mean in a grounded way? Myths don't come from nowhere. They're about something. So to me, I always live in the grounded world, and that's the kind of stories I care about. What does it mean to our characters and to the world we live in, and where they come from? And Eric is just great with also the themes.
Yeah, it's funny. You look at the original Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid. It's a dark story. You know, the way it sort of changed and transformed in a lighter, more Disney way. I also think dark is a somewhat dangerous word because I don't know that our show is dark exactly. It's not like Breaking Bad. It's we didn't want it to be bleak. We wanted it to be it's a show about mermaids. It's got to be entertaining, but I think it's complicated. It's real. It's grounded. I think that's what makes it feel different than a lot of some of the other mermaid takes that have come before. I think dark can be a misleading term sometimes. But it's definitely it's complex and it's real.
Sci-fi and fantasy is a prism through which we look at our society. And we are in a society now where acceptance of others is not exactly high on the priority list. How much influence and commentary, how much influence from what's going on is in this show, and how much commentary on what's going on in the world do you feel the show has an opportunity to do?
I think we hope a great deal. I think the great way to tell a story is to not tell the story in that way. I think to tell everyone what the story is, which is why I love the idea of this show so much. Because it is about those things, but we're not necessarily talking about those things. And so it's deeply important to me, I think, to Eric as well, to everyone involved, that we're telling that story right now about those very things that we care about. It feels really meaningful to be doing TV about that. And so it makes me love the show so much more and feel like I'm doing something important. And I think, again, you don't want to tell a story. You don't want to preach. You don't want to tell it that way. Right. But it is what the show is about. So we embrace it.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind Donna being a mermaid and having her past?
Donna... well, it's revealed, it's not a spoiler anymore. In one of the teasers that they're sisters.
Right.
And so she's the one that gets caught from the beginning, and that's sort of our inciting incident for the season. And then it becomes all about Rin having to come onto land to track her down. So the two sisters have sort of separated from their colony in search of food. And Donna's the one that gets caught in the net.
There's a backstory there.
Yeah.
So you reveal that.
No, and we have an episode that really starts to dig into what they were doing and why and the differences between them. And it's interesting. Yeah.
Interesting.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.